Hello and welcome back to Crew 42's coverage of the 2025 Brent Hambrick Memorial Open. This is at the Brent Hambrick Memorial Disc Golf Course in Columbus, Ohio. This is our MPO Lead Card. On the commentator's mic, you have myself, Zach O'Haron, and with me, Sam Smigiel. How we doing?
Hey, doing great, Zach. Halfway through probably the last event at the Brent Hambrick course before it shuts down for 4 years for the work on the dam. And yeah, that dam right there, it's got a crack in it. So it's going to take some work to fix that.
Yeah, unfortunate. And taking a look at our front nine scores, things have tightened up. Jared, Zach at 13, Winn taking the lead on our lead card so far at 14, and Kevin not far behind at 11. And as we move on to the back nine, they're going to need to stay clean. They're going to need to get as many birdies as they can, trying to get themselves in the best position on this moving day. Hole 10, 355. Sam, what is the ideal shot in order to get a birdie opportunity?
Well, miss the tree that we just flew past with something as straight as possible. I think a slight hyzer flip with a disc that used to be overstable, that has a little integrity to fight back at the end. But really, you just want to keep it as straight as possible. If you're going to err anywhere, err a little bit more on the right. I think there's a couple more putting gaps on the right side than there are the left.
Is that tree maybe the best placed tree in the world?
It is one of them, definitely on this course, man. It is, like, the gap looks so wide. And for Zach throwing the lefty backhand, I think it opens up a little bit more with how the bush is staggered a little bit with the tree. But for the righty shot, you're throwing a very, very tight line. And as we saw yesterday and we're seeing today, this righty backhand is just, it's a very technical shot. It looks simple from the camera angle here, but you've got to throw a pretty specific shot to get up there.
You know, you just said that you like Zach's shape a lot, being able to throw that backhand and with the way it works with the bush. I'd love to see more forehands as well, but the uphill nature in 355 kind of eliminates that from a lot of people because of power.
And I think Zach throwing a backhand is also able to throw a slower disc that's not going to move right to left as much, where throwing a forehand, you're going to be going at least a 9-speed, if not a distance driver, so there's going to be a lot more swings. I did think about throwing the forehand, but surprised I didn't see any forehands on this hole, actually.
I think it's just that, again, the 355 is like kind of a close distance. It's a little uphill. I think some people just, you said it, a straight shot off the tee. They want it to be a straighter shot, and that's, for some people, that's just not what you do at 355. You have to put a little flex in it, and they might not be very comfortable with that kind of shot shape. Got a few tap-ins here. Par from Kevin and Zach coming in for Jared as well, and Winn for his putt. And hole 10 playing slightly on the harder side, does play under par on the day at 2.89. As we move on to our first par 5, 743. If you're going for the eagle, not the Parker one that we saw in round 1, but if you're going for the eagle, what are the two shots you need to give yourself that chance?
Yeah, I think you're going to throw a big shot off the tee that's going to air a little bit more in this right landing zone past the trees here, and then throwing forehand around the corner. Probably either, pick a gap, either take right side for a long putt or left side to try to get close. It's a little tighter, but I would expect most of these players, if not everybody on the card, going for big distance off the tee to try to give themselves a chance at eagle. 743 feet is not far for a par 5, but there is a lot of really nasty woods, so if you're off the fairway, then your eagle might turn into a par or bogey quite quick.
And for the person trying to take the birdie play, I would say you want to do the same thing, but you just want to be past that kind of curve that goes toward the basket, that last turn. If you're past that or level with it after 2 throws, then you're in the great position for birdie.
Yeah, anything around the corner on that second shot is great.
Kevin gets this one. This looks pretty
straight. This.
He's got to settle.
Hyzering maybe a little more than he wants, kick out a little bit.
Just gonna be
not ideal. I think the eagle's probably out of play from there, but he should be able to get up the fairway for a birdie.
Forehand from Jared. going to be on the left side there. Arlinghaus. This is a tight angle, right?
It's a very tight angle.
Oh, and this is a slower disc.
Yeah, but well done.
Just gets himself to the corner.
Not trying to get too much distance off the tee. Doesn't even make it all the way to the corner. Just trust the shape of his disc to get himself in good position to go for the birdie, and that is not good.
Could have been worse. Does stay in the short grass and doesn't go down the hill at all, but is not in any type of position that you want to be in. This needs to hyzer out. Sure. You'll have a forehand from there. At the corner in 2.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Jared get himself up and down for par here. Just kind of stop the bleedings. Had some struggles so far on the front 9, and tough hole here. So a par would really, really go a long ways to building some confidence back up to finish this round.
Kevin actually had a flex forehand line he was trying to manipulate. Needed something a little more stable if he wanted that to swing back, give himself an eagle opportunity, but is in prime position to get up and down for birdie.
This could be inside.
Sneaky.
No, it's straightened out just enough in time, and yeah, well played hold. Just kind of kept it. Never tried to bite off too much.
Right. A very GPO Zach Arlinghaus special where he just threw a lot of slower speed stuff, stayed in the fairway, and broke this hole down very similarly. Got to throw a little faster off the tee, but everything else was a slower disc and well executed. Jared really needs this to get up and down. Swings it out wide, gets himself in the circle. He should be able to make that putt.
Kevin got a little work to do through these trees here, but
No, wrong roll.
Still edge of circle, inside circle. He's still got a putt.
Winn
Yeah.
with the birdie. Nice job.
Good birdie there from Kevin.
Zach to match. Does so. Jared, the only one with the par here.
And a good par, too. That second shot was kicking into no man's land.
Mm-hmm.
And, lucky to still have a shot to get up there and, play the rest of the hole clean.
Second par 5 on the course, 785. Also not a huge distance for par 5, but it's very tight and has a dog leg. Where's your first drive? Where do you want it to be?
Anything to this gap or ideally up on the landing zone here would be perfect. And then chipping a forehand around the corner, land somewhere around here. Got a sloped green and there's no grass, so you're going to get a lot of skips on this green. A lot of players like to throw the forehand and you get a little extra boost down the hill. So ideally, throw a backhand, shapes a little better into the side of the hill. It's going to slow it down, or if you're going to throw the forehand, you need to challenge the road to keep it close.
This is wide right.
Yeah, wide of what he wanted, doing a little course maintenance there. But I think he's still going to be able to get himself around the corner, just maybe a little patent pending step out, or might even have a forehand from where he's at.
This is a great shot from Zach. He plays short, slower speed disc, but he has the perfect lane to that gap that he needs to hit and should be able to get through the gap for his second. Kevin getting aggressive.
Yep. Kevin looking for a little extra distance off the tee. Pretty sure that was his Tour Series spell, and got himself way up there.
How aggressive can you get towards the basket in an ideal drive like that?
You're just going to shorten your upshot. So I think most players are going to be like where Jared is at and where the rest of our card is at. Their upshots are going to get them to maybe 250 feet. Mm-hmm. So Kevin might be able to shorten that to, a little inside 200. I think it's about the best case scenario.
Yeah.
So it does make that last shot a little bit easier, but sometimes off the tee, it's just, hey, I'm really comfortable throwing this disc, and as long as it gets up the hill, you're going to have something to work with.
Zach turned that one over, hits the trees, but pushes through and lands outside of the tunnel, so he should be able to see the basket from there. Jared flirting with that big branch up high, but makes the Mando and lands in the fairway. There's no Mando, by the way.
Yeah, it's a casual round, Mando.
Yeah, it just makes this shot really simple, huh?
Mm-hmm. And you can see he goes high to make sure that he doesn't challenge that road as much and allows himself to get a little extra distance. So, yeah, you do get a little bonus for being closer to the basket off the tee.
Yeah, it does make it easier to hit the gap as well. Zach Arlinghaus is going to end up a little short here. Still has an opportunity to make a putt. Winn is a little more packed, has a low ceiling to contend with as well. Oh, this is not wide enough.
And this has got dangerous skipping. He's got to hit something.
Not a thing. He's going to go down the hill quite a bit. Probably circle 2.
And Jared looking to get this one just a little bit wider. Throwing a slower disc, but it looks like it's still going to get...
Oh! That would have been cool.
That's a good way to slow the disc down.
Yeah, let's take a look at this one from the catch angle the whole way. Puts on a nice line. Never flat, just on the hyzer line the whole way. And Jared will tell you, he did not mean to do this.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a really poor decision from there. But, yeah, sometimes, it's better to be lucky than good, right?
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, and look at how close Kevin's able to get here. Really just, pick your favorite shot and throw it.
Yeah, no run up, no pressure, just makes it look easy. Down the hill, circle 2 from a knee. No problem.
That's a tough putt in there. There's a lot of little trees and some low ceiling branches that make that really tough. That was great.
We talked about...
Oh.
That was rude.
A little right side, but man, the basket really just shot that one out of there.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Jared's 13 down, how good it was, right? But Winn shot 10. And 10-10-10, average over the last 4 or 5 years has been the winning score. So it feels surprising to see Winn kind of just make these putts and put this streak together here. But, I mean, he did it last round, too. I guess we shouldn't be surprised at this point.
He's just doing what he needs to do and staying consistent out here. Like, you're not going to shoot 13 all 3 rounds.
Right.
And that's the thing. So if you can play 3 good rounds in a row, you're going to give yourself a chance.
Hole 13 places one of the toughest holes on the day. Second hardest today, actually, at 385. We talked about this last round. Tight gap. It's just short of the basket. Really demanding. We saw the left side play a lot of trouble for our cards. He's going for the gap, it looks like.
Yeah, this hole is so hard to birdie, and I think that's part of the reason that makes it so tough. You do see some 4s out here because if you don't make it into the gap, then, you do have to kind of scramble through the trees. So that I think Kevin's close enough where he may actually have a putt at it, but where Winn's at, he's still got a little work to do to get there. But it's just so hard to get up there for a 2 that you're really just looking to punch into the trees as much as you can. If Jared can get this one to fade, this is going to be fantastic.
Oh, it does.
You can't throw it much better. Like that angle, just 2 feet to the left, and he's going to be putting. But that's just how specific this hole is. And Zach with the lefty shot. Really not a lot of options other than just kind of blast something up there and kind of give yourself, something like this to try to get up there for a par.
And that's a great approach. It's hard to see from the main cam angle there, but there's a million trees between them.
Well, I mean, you can see them like from this angle right here. You can see how many trees there are, and they are lined up just perfectly where there is really, like that lane that Jared just threw is the only straight lane through the trees. Everything else they're staggered, and it's tough. All right, let's see if we can get a 2 here. And another low putt from Kevin. He's had a couple of those this round, just not getting the pop on his putt that he normally does. Let's go.
Bang. One of 2 birdies on the day. The other one was Tanner Young. Hole played, as I said, the second toughest on the day, averaging 3.48. And, yeah, that's a bonus birdie and a half. 4 in a row. No, I'm sorry, 3 in a row. Hello, I can't count for Winn there.
Yeah, and heading into a easier stretch where you can birdie all the rest of these holes. There's a couple tough ones, but it's definitely getting to the easier stretch, shorter holes. Hole 14, you just want to pick, whatever your favorite overstable forehand disc is. Either go inside gap or push a little bit deeper. I like to go a little deeper and try to hyzer in kind of backside in case you hit a tree or at least a little closer to the basket. There is a Mando, that furthest left tree, but doesn't really come into play.
So let me ask you about that, actually, because, a lot of Mandos are there to protect players. Wow, Winn got pretty far up there considering how short he was, or inside that shot was. If that wasn't a Mando, do you think you'd see more people trying to go up and over?
No, that's such a huge shot. There's, even the only person that could even think about that would be Zach with the backhand. Mm-hmm. And there's just no point. The forehand, yeah, you've got a low ceiling, but it's a pretty simple shot that these guys should be getting up there for a putt every time.
Yeah. Jared screams past the basket. We'll have to see where he ended up on his putt. Arlinghaus, nice and smooth.
Would like to get a skip out of this, and does.
That's a great shot from Zach.
Sit down, and that's really well done.
Can he make it 4 in a row? Let's find out. Winn from distance. Sure. Ooh. Why not? Putting is easy, right?
Yeah, on a roll at a really good time. I like that. He's thanking the basket every time it goes in. Says, "Hey, I appreciate you."
Jared from circle 2 off the fairway. That is just awful enough to miss.
Yeah, that's a decent bid. Kind of hard to get back as far as he was. You normally hit a tree and kind of slow you down before you get there.
No chains required for Kevin, and I don't think that was planned.
Yeah, he knows how good of a putt that was.
That's his new profile picture for PDGA. I'll edit that for him. We're going to move on to hole 15. I think this is the toughest hole in the stretch.
Yep.
Really tight fairway. We want to throw something overstable. I love your suggestion from last round of fairway. No, you didn't say that. Mid-range. That's the word. It just slows the disc down enough to not penetrate into the trees deep, but still allow you to control around the curve. And it also mitigates the skip. We saw Martin throw a faster disc, hit the gap, and then skipped past the basket, got himself into circle 2, which he made that putt, but I think the mid-range is a better play to kind of get it in closer to that bullseye spot.
Yeah, the mid-range, you can throw it a little bit harder, and so when you get that skip, it's going to be like a little bit more of a flare as opposed to the fairway. I think you're going to sometimes get a little straighter skip. Fairway's not a bad play, don't get me wrong, but it's I think slower disc kind of shapes the fairway a little bit better than did I say mid-range? Mid-range, yeah. Mid-range shapes the fairway a little bit better than fairway.
Maybe the toughest hole for Zach on the course?
Yeah, he's got, as these are some birdie holes, he does have a couple of these holes here that are going to be really tough for him. Really just playing it for, this hole he can play it to about 60 feet. That's about it.
This is high. It's got to miss some stuff. And it does. Wow. Sure, bullseye.
There you go.
Kevin has negative 0.5 gaps here. Do not want to be inside.
Yeah, probably just going to chip a little forehand at the basket and think he caught one of those trees. Going to leave him about circle's edge.
Winn kicked right off the tee, so he's just trying to poke, and he does. Gives himself a 20, 25-footer. Arlinghaus got a great kick back into the fairway. He's got a long look at this.
Yeah, and he's not going to get much closer. He can get maybe another 20 feet down the fairway. He's not going to get any further left, so he's very familiar with that position. Kevin looking to get a par here.
Sure.
Great putt.
Great save. Never didn't have it, right? Winn now. Trying to save his par as well. Does so. That ends his birdie runs, but doesn't take any serious damage as hole 15 plays on the harder side. 5th hardest.
Really? That does surprise me. I mean, you can get into trouble off the tee.
It does play. It's the hardest hole under par.
Okay.
So it's 2.97, so almost plays exactly to its par 3 nature, but is the toughest hole that plays under par and the 5th hardest on the day. As we move over to hole 16, this is a forehand favorite hole.
Yep. Forehand hole for sure. Grass is a little extra sticky on this hole, so make sure that you get it there. If you land it, kind of in the fairway 60 feet short, you're not going to get the skip to the basket. This looks really good from Jared.
Go in.
And that's just perfect. That's exactly what you want to do.
It is really good. Okay, let's see if we can replicate this with everyone else. Winn up next. Oh, this is inside. Hopefully we have a poke out.
Yeah, and I do want to go back to what Jared did there. Is he was able to throw a little slower disc. You see Kevin's going with a fairway driver, and you just have to shape. This is a very straight fairway, and you just have to shape the disc a little bit more with the fairway driver. So him throwing a slower disc, Zach as well throwing a backhand, throwing a slower disc. It's a much straighter shot and just makes the fairway that much bigger for you.
Unfortunately, he leaks that one left and gets knocked down pretty early. He's going to have this little short pitch around to try to save his par. This looks good. Settle down and does so nicely. Yeah, right on the edge of bullseye. Kevin's on the edge here, not too far, so he should be able to pitch around the corner. A little deep of the basket, but should be a par putt. And
where is Winn? Okay, yeah.
What is he holding?
Is he going?
The Scott Stokely Special?
Wow. And he does it incredibly. Please tell me we get to see this again.
We didn't have a very good angle on that one, but like
that, I just that grip that he was. I mean,
it's a backhand.
I've never
grip.
even thought about trying that. That's just so. Huh. Yeah, we're sitting here, we're trying to imitate how he was holding and throwing that disc, and I guess great shot Winn, well earned par.
We'll take it. Hole 17, par 3, 350 feet. This one is a pretty much stock left shot for a righty backhand player. We'll have to see Zach probably manipulate a slower disc on a bit of a flip or turn. You want something straight most of the fairway and let it hyzer out with its own stability at the very end. Biggest mistake is missing early left.
Early left is the big mistake here. If you get too far left, then the ceiling gets really, really low, and you almost can't par from there.
This looks great.
This is exactly what you want. Just miss that bush, and it does, and you are putting for birdie. A little short of what I thought.
Looked like it had more energy. I guess it was a slower disc. The line was perfect.
Yeah,
the hyzer was perfect.
Still a great shot. Don't get me wrong. I mean, anything inside the circle on this hole is good.
This looks good too. Over the bush, hits the tree in front of it.
And he's going to be fine from there, but anything short of that makes the par very, very tough.
Okay, this looks like it's holding a little straighter around the. Oh, tickles it. And there you go.
Nice shot there from Kevin. Goes with the faster disc. I believe that's going to be a driver. So just taking it nice and easy and planning for a skip.
Smooth little turnover. Yeah, and it's a tough shot for Zach. He's going to have to keep that disc so high in the air if he wants to push to the basket, which just puts everything in danger. There's OB technically on the right side with the road, which is hard to get to. You have to kind of poke through something, but it's there. And Winn going past the basket, but his putter's been so hot, I expect he should have a good opportunity to save the par.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've seen him miss a putt yet this round.
I can't think of one. Oh, Zach with the good bid. Going off the cage.
A good chance for Jared here. Get himself another birdie. just leaves it short.
Hole 17 playing as the 4th hardest hole and is the first hole to play over par. That's surprising.
This hole's over par?
It is. 3.08. Hold on. I teach math, not English. Yep, hole 17.
That is really surprising. I mean, the bogey is for sure in play. I've seen plenty of them on this hole, but I would expect enough birdies to kind of even that out.
So it has a 27% birdie rate, 45 par, 28 bogey or worse.
Wow.
It's got a fairly decent spread. Hole 18, 582. The game plan is throw it hard with something overstable twice.
Yep.
And then hopefully you're close and tapped in.
That's about it. There's some wind. I mean, the wind is a big factor on this hole. So there's OB along the left side, OB along the road on the right. So my recommendation is don't try to get too much off of the tee. Just get yourself in the middle.
This needs to swing.
Kevin says, I don't care. I'm going to throw really far and make my up shot a little easier.
You know, this hole in round 1 had quite a bit of surprising scoring separation, similar balance to what I just described on hole 17. This is playing easier than it did on day 1. I'm assuming a lot of people just kind of wised up, either stop trying as hard.
You don't need to get that much off of the tee. I think there's people just trying to shape it up the fairway a little bit more to get the full flight distance. You know, it's a wide open fairway. You know, why don't you throw it, way up there? Mm-hmm. But there's just not much benefit to do that.
When we covered this a few years ago with Corey Ellis on the chase card, he was chucking his Z Zeus like 500 feet. People wanted to do the same. Let's get out of it. It's not. That's going to be out of bounds. Par at best now for Zach, as he's still quite a bit back. But luckily gets to advance. The left side of the fairway kind of has zigzags all the way down it. Mm-hmm. So as he leaks OB, he definitely is crossing in bounds as he's doing so. So gets to advance pretty far forward.
Yeah, nice shot there. What were you saying about Corey Ellis there?
So he, like, a few years ago, he was throwing like a Z Zeus, and he was getting like almost a circle 2, just crushing it.
Oh, just smash.
Yeah, just hard smashes, right?
Wow.
And so I think people from that moment forward had a very similar mentality. Let me just crush it. The more distance, the better. But the difference between us and a guy like Corey Ellis is, like, Corey Ellis can probably push 650 if he's in an open field in the right conditions, and we are pushing 450.
Yeah.
500.
It's a different game. Like, even if you have 500 feet of distance, this hole is uphill. Like, you're not going to get yourself a birdie putt with 500 feet.
Ooh, Winn leaves that one low, which you can't do. He's going to leave himself far back. Can he make one more putt?
God, this would be good to cap off the round. He just leaks it a little bit left.
Can't even count against him. It's a circle 2 putt. This was pretty far.
Yeah,
circle 2 putt.
Still a great round, though.
Jared gets his birdie to go. Caps off a pretty difficult round. He definitely wanted to shoot better than he did today, but gets the birdie, and we're going to see scores in just a second, see how he finishes out for the card and for the round. Tap in pars. Good birdie from Kevin. Nice and close. That's what you want to have on this final hole. So looking at the card itself, Winn takes the lead by 1 over Jared at 17, Arlinghaus at 15, Kevin at 16. So everyone's pretty close to one, a few strokes between everyone. And as we transition to look at the leaderboard, things have condensed. Things have tightened up considerably. We now have Winn tied for the lead with Tony, who has shot 12 under. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people at 17 down, 1 stroke off. This has turned into a race.
It's gotten tight. I think we've got 8 players in it, with Zach being the last one, that have still got a chance to win this with a hot round. But we're seeing a hot round every single day. So who is it going to be on the final day that has that hot round? Because there's a lot of people in this.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to have to shoot hot to win.
And we're going to check that out in just a minute. We'll see you at round 3.